What Russell Westbrook does to the Washington Wizards is simple. He makes them a playoff team. A lot of people are going to talk about Russell Westbrook as a selfish basketball player. That is the biggest narrative in the NBA amongst the social media, amongst the journalists that report and talk about Russell Westbrook. This is a guy that averaged 27, 7, and 7 this past season. That's considering a down year by critics. Also shot 47% for the field. He came into the Houston Rockets, their situation, playing in a style of basketball that wasn't really comfortable for his natural style play, and he fitted in with James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Before the coronavirus and the NBA shut down, Russell Westbrook was having his best stretch of basketball since his MVP season. And then he came to the bubble, he was hurt, then he had a coronavirus, and he didn't have a great playoff performance that we're kind of used to, accustomed to seeing for Russell Westbrook. And then people act like that doesn't play a factor in, all those things doesn't play a factor in his play, but it did. But of course, he's not going to make excuses because he's a world athlete. Russell Westbrook, what he does for the Washington Wizards is he's a ceiling riser, similar to LeBron James. He's going to elevate the Washington Wizards team, just like he elevates other teams that he goes to, because he's a athletic stud. He's going to run the fast break. He's going to has an all-around game. He's going to set up his teammates. He's going to get them involved early on in the game, and he also knows how to score and be aggressive. That's what you like, and having that mentality and bringing a MVP to the Washington Wizards, the capital of DC, is going to benefit not only their team, but it's going to benefit Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal, and to speak on Bradley Beal wanted his own team, wanted a team built around him, and we know that John Wall still felt that, you know, even though he was hurt for the past 2 years, still felt like the Washington Wizards was his team. So we know that situation, John Wall had to go anyway, because one, he ain't been around for 2 years. Two, Bradley Beal is a better player than John Wall. And also Russell Westbrook is a better player than John Wall. So the Washington Wizards got the best player. And John Wall wasn't a better player when he was healthy, better than Russell Westbrook. So I don't expect him coming back off of Achilles injury to be better than Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has always been the second best point guard for years. Now, this past year, you probably can have a legitimate argument to say that, you know, Damian Lillard was better than him. That's fine. But other than that, Damian Lillard has been better than Russell Westbrook for his entire career. And we know that basically Russell Westbrook has been 2 to Stephen Curry's 1, just like Kevin Durant has been 2 to LeBron James 1 for the course of their careers. That's just a flat out truth. Russell Westbrook, he may be top 3, top 5 point guard this upcoming season, whatever you want to rank Russell Westbrook. But you got a top 3 point guard in the game. You're going to be in the Eastern Conference. You're going to have a chance to go to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook is going to make them a playoff team. Russell Westbrook, this team with the Washington Wizards, we saw Russell Westbrook take, you know, Jeremy Grant, Steven Adams, and then Victor Oladipo when Victor Oladipo wasn't his best version of himself until he went to the Indiana Pacers. We saw him take a worser team to the playoffs in a tougher conference. So for people to say that the Washington Wizards are not going to be a playoff team with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal in the Eastern Conference, stop the nonsense, because they're going to be a playoff team. They're going to be anywhere between a 6 to 8 seed, maybe can get up as high as the 5th seed, depending on if they're going to be better than the Indiana Pacers or not. It's a simple matter of that Russell Westbrook is going to make Bradley Beal better. Russell Westbrook elevates guys. Like I said, he's like LeBron. He's a ceiling raiser. He's going to bring a mentality. He's going to bring a toughness, and he's going to help elevate Bradley Beal. For people that are saying that, oh, well, Russell Westbrook wants to be the man again. He wants to be the alpha dog. He's always an alpha dog, no matter what team he goes on to. That's, you know, that it is what it is. People are talking about he may never win a championship. Newsflash, unless you're the LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, the Golden State Warriors, or whatever team LeBron James is on, you're not winning a championship. So it's just like this whole concept. It's 29 teams in the NBA that never win a championship each and every year. This whole concept that we like to talk about legends or talk about how this legend's never going to win a championship. Newsflash, not everybody's going to win a championship. Doesn't mean winning a championship is the only thing that makes your career successful. Russell Westbrook has been to the finals. He's been to multiple playoffs. He's been an MVP. He's had a successful career. He's a winner. Now, talk about winning a championship. If we're going to define winning a championship as the only cases of you being a winner, then nobody's a winner in the NBA except for in the past, 10 years, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, and whatever team LeBron James on, or the San Antonio Spurs and Greg Popovich. That's just what it is. So I think what Russell Westbrook is going to bring to the Washington Wizards is that, like I said, he's going to help elevate Bradley Beal. We saw people love to talk about Russell Westbrook as a selfish player. We talk about he's hard to work with, but all his teammates love him. That's a narrative that's been thrown out in the media. He came and worked. He worked well with James Harden. They had the best scoring court in the history of the NBA. He worked well with Kevin Durant, even though that situation OKC, Kevin Durant didn't really necessarily leave because of Russell Westbrook. He left the situation OKC because he didn't like the fact that he was the only one that can make jump shots on a consistent basis. He's been said that countless of times. You know, he's thanked Russell Westbrook in his MVP speech. It really wasn't because of Russell Westbrook. It's just funny for, you know, social media and the media, them to make those stories up. But we gotta keep things real. When Paul George came there, Russell Westbrook allowed Paul George to be the number one option. They ran their offense through Paul George. He helped elevate Paul George's game, and Paul George became a top 5 player in the NBA during that season and finished top 3 in the MVP voting. A lot of that has to do with Paul George and his greatness, but also a lot of that has to do with Russell Westbrook as well. He's going to go into the situation in D.C. with Bradley Beal, and people are going to say that, you know, is he going to allow Bradley Beal to be the best player? We've seen it in the past of him allowing Paul George, Kevin Durant, and also James Harden to be the best player. Now, I don't know. I can't sit up and say that, you know, I can't really say that Bradley Beal's a better basketball player than Russell Westbrook, but it is his team, and you're going to have to run the offense through Bradley Beal's strengths. And I don't feel that Russell Westbrook's going to have a problem with that because everywhere he's gone, he's done that. Now, people can laugh, people can joke, people can say all these things, but the truth of the matter is Russell Westbrook is still a top 3 point guard in the game. He's been a top 2 point guard for his entire career other than Stephen Curry. And this guy is one of the best and a future Hall of Famer. Is going to go out and he's going to give you 100%, 110% all the time. That's what you have to love about Russell Westbrook. He's going to play the game his way, and him and Bradley Beal are going to be successful if Bradley Beal wants to stay in D.C. and doesn't want to get traded.